You're not crazy, and you're not imagining it. There's something shifting in your life right now. You can feel it, but you can't quite name it. Things are falling apart in ways that don't make sense. Or doors are closing that you were certain would open. Or you're feeling a restlessness so deep it keeps you up at night. A knowing that something bigger is coming even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. Most people dismiss these feelings. They chalk it up to wishful thinking or stress or the kind of hope that desperate people cling to. But what if it's not that at all? What if that feeling is actually accurate and the universe is doing something deliberate in your life that you just don't have the full picture of yet? This video is about the signs, the specific, recognizable patterns that show up in people's lives right before a significant financial breakthrough. Not superstition, not toxic positivity. Just an honest look at what the season before abundance actually tends to look like, because it almost never looks the way people expect. So stay tuned and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, because one of the signs I'll get to later is one that most people experience as a setback, yet it might be the most important one on this list. Sign number 1. Things are breaking down around you. There's a reason the phrase "things fall apart before they fall into place" exists in almost every culture and tradition, because it keeps being true. Think about the story of someone like David. He was in his mid-30s when everything seemed to collapse at once. He lost a job he'd held for years. A relationship ended. He had to move back into a smaller place and rebuild almost from scratch. From the outside, it looked like failure. It felt like failure. But what that season was actually doing was removing everything that had been keeping him comfortable in the wrong life. Every structure that fell away was a structure that had been quietly limiting him. Within 2 years of that collapse, he had built something of his own that earned him more than the job he lost ever had. And he was the first to say he never would have done it if the old life had stayed intact. When things around you start breaking down, relationships, situations, circumstances that used to feel stable, the natural response is fear. But sometimes the universe dismantles what is small to make room for what is larger. You see, that breakdown is not the end of the story. It's the clearing of junk in your life for the preparation of the new. Sign number 2. You've become deeply uncomfortable with where you are. Comfort is not always a blessing. Sometimes it's the thing that keeps people exactly where they don't belong. There's a particular kind of restlessness that visits people right before a major breakthrough. It's not depression, though it can feel similar. It's not ingratitude. It's a growing inability to settle, a sense that the life you're living no longer fits the person you're becoming. Things that used to satisfy you don't anymore. Routines that used to feel fine now feel suffocating. You find yourself thinking about a different kind of life more and more, even when you can't fully see what it looks like. That discomfort is not a malfunction. It's a signal. The universe tends to use dissatisfaction as a redirecting force because people who are fully comfortable rarely change direction, and changing direction is often exactly what's required. If you're feeling that restlessness right now, don't medicate it away with distraction. Sit with it. Ask it what it's pointing toward. Because that persistent, uncomfortable feeling that something needs to change is often the first language the universe uses when it's trying to move you somewhere new. Sign number 3. The right information keeps finding you. You hear something on a podcast, and it stops you. You read a line in an article that feels like it was written specifically for you. Someone in a conversation mentions something offhandedly, and you can't stop thinking about it for days. This is not coincidence, or rather, even if it is coincidence, it's worth paying attention to what your mind is being drawn toward repeatedly, because there's a pattern that shows up in the lives of people right before financial growth. They start encountering the right ideas at the right time, and something in them recognizes it. A woman named Amara had spent years in a career that paid her bills and nothing more. Then, over the course of about 3 months, she kept encountering the same concept about a particular skill set she'd never considered monetizing. A YouTube video, a friend's offhand comment, a book she picked up for an unrelated reason. She almost ignored all of it. Instead, she followed the thread. That thread became the foundation of a business that changed her financial life entirely. The sign here isn't just that information is finding you. It's that something in you is recognizing it. Pay attention to what you keep being drawn back to. The universe often speaks through repetition, and what repeats in your awareness is rarely random. Sign number 4, you're being stripped of distractions. This is the one that most people experience as loss, and it might be the most important sign on this list. Friendships that drift away, hobbies that lose their pull, social invitations that feel hollow, a quieting of the noise that used to fill your life without you even noticing. People in this season often describe it as loneliness, but what it actually is, more often than not, is focus being created on your behalf. Because the life that is coming requires a version of you that doesn't exist yet. And building that version requires time, energy, and attention that the old distractions were consuming. When the universe is preparing you for something larger, it tends to create space first. And that space in the middle of it can feel like emptiness. But emptiness and spaciousness are not the same thing. One is absence, the other is possibility. The quiet that descends on people in this season is often the universe creating the conditions for them to finally hear what they've been too distracted to listen to. Use the space. Go inward. The answers that are trying to reach you require a certain stillness to land. Sign number 5. Your tolerance for certain things has completely disappeared. Something happens that you would have accepted before, and this time you can't. A situation you used to navigate with resignation now produces a response in you that surprises even yourself. You find that you simply cannot continue doing things the way you've been doing them. Not from anger, but from a deep, quiet certainty. This is your standards rising, and rising standards almost always precede rising circumstances. When people are preparing to receive more, financially, professionally, personally, their internal compass recalibrates first. They stop tolerating the underpayment. They stop accepting the situation that diminishes them. They stop agreeing to things that cost them more than they give back. It doesn't feel like ambition necessarily. It feels more like a line being drawn from somewhere deep inside. That intolerance is not immaturity, it's alignment. The universe cannot bring you what you're asking for while you're still actively accepting less than you deserve. The rising of your standards is the universe's way of making sure you're actually ready for what's coming. Because readiness isn't just desire. It's the refusal to keep settling. Sign number 6. You've started taking small actions despite fear. This last sign is quieter than the others, but it might be the most telling. You've started doing things that scare you. Not recklessly, just consistently. Sending the email you've been putting off for months. Starting the thing you've been researching but never beginning. Having the conversation you've been avoiding. Showing up for the opportunity even when you don't feel ready. The universe responds to motion. Not perfection, not readiness, not confidence. Just motion. And when a person begins moving towards something despite their fear, something shifts. Doors that were closed start opening. Resources that weren't available start appearing. People who are exactly right for the next chapter start showing up. This is not magic. It's alignment in the most practical sense. When you move in the direction of what you want, you enter the spaces where what you want is more likely to exist. The small, scared, imperfect actions are not just signs that the universe is preparing you. They are the mechanism by which the preparation becomes reality. Keep going. The fear doesn't mean stop. In this season, the fear almost always means you're exactly on the right path. Here's what all of these signs have in common. None of them look like winning from the outside. The breakdown, the restlessness, the stripping away, the discomfort, none of it looks like abundance is on the way. And that is precisely why most people miss it. They're waiting for the signs to feel good. But the season before growth almost never feels good. It feels like pressure, like loss, like confusion. If these signs are showing up in your life, something is moving, even when you can't see it yet. If this video puts words to something you've been feeling, share it with someone who needs to hear it right now, because someone in your life is in this season and doesn't know how to read it yet. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. And with that said, have a great day and see you in the next one.